Happy Thursday. I woke up feeling really crappy when I was up. I woke up at 5. The alarm goes off at 5:30, but I woke up at 5, so I came out and turned on my plant lights and um I Howie took his race car to work today. The boss is paying for the paint job. Now it's company colors, but the boss is paying for the paint job. So we're not gonna. I don't know if he's putting stickers on it or not. Well, that depends. I mean, that depends, Raf, on how we lay them out, and that also depends on if I bring the coach down. The sunshade comes with it. So, hi, Avon Leanne, Sherry Leach, just me. Ileana, hi, hola. Seashell, my love, how are you? Autumn Leaf, nice to see you again. So before, let's do some, so anyway, I woke up, let's just start right off clean, eh? So does that mean he has a sponsor for his card? No. It just means that we didn't have to pay for the paint, right? If he puts stickers on it, that's more money, right? But it depends on the paint job. Pretty sure it's gunmetal gray and blue. So, hey, Tammy, Sandy Candy, Mamakins, Paula Klein. Okay, baby, absolutely. Smoke of the sacred white sage. Cleanse the energies of the cards, cleanse my energy of negativity, bring honesty and lovingness to the forefront, to the room of negative energy, right? May we be calm and peaceful and loving, but with positive energy. Okay. Woo, it's sagey in here. No demons allowed. Please lift the smoke up to God, source creator of all, with all our good and loving intentions. All right. I did some bacon today too out of one of them bucklets, but that's another story. It was really rich. It was spongy, super moist, and sweet. And I'll tell you something. Howie had a nibble, and I said to him this morning, "Want a piece of that cake with butter on it in your lunch?" "Okay, I can pick the raisins out." He liked it. So it was really good. I put it in a, by the way, if you're going to turn it out onto a plate, put a piece of parchment on that plate. That thing stuck like caramel. It was really delicious. It was really delicious. Now, before we get started, I'm going to give my cards a little rub down there. Oh, just talk to me. You always talk to me, my wonderful cards. So, ow. I was just you know what? It's his sweet. And he knows he's not getting another cake made or anything else. And most of the recipes in those booklets are cakes. But not today's recipe. Yeah, I can replace that. I found out you can replace the raisins with nuts. Where did I see that if you're going to work with walnuts in the shell, you should boil them? Like boil them in the shell. And apparently the nuts come out easier or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to research that. Give me a second here, folks. A huge pile of whipped cream would be nice. Okay, you know what? We already put lard in that. But you know what? There was only 2 tablespoons of lard. So it's basically flour, sugar, water, and lard. But I'm going to tell you something. I made a mistake and I didn't leave it in the video because I corrected it. Do not wait until your stovetop mixture is cooled. Then add the hot water to your teaspoon of baking soda. If you notice in the video, it foams up. But I thought, oh, I'll get that done ahead of time. And I dissolved it when I was doing everything else, like setting everything up. And it didn't, it dissolved, but then it clumped together on the bottom. So I think the secret, part of the secret is putting that teaspoon of baking soda in a cup and adding like a quarter cup of boiling water, and you fizz up and it goes right in there. And I think that's the chemistry of how it rises. It was. Hi, Carolyn. I just crack them and then, well, we don't do walnuts, because Howie has really bad reaction to nut molds, and and walnuts burn our mouth, so we replace everything with pecans. Did I tell you I talked to my lawyer? Hi, Rosie. How are you? I'm going to be concentrating on today. I concentrated on a snack, and I think I'm going to try it again another day, just because I want to see if I can do it a little bit better. The whipped cream in the container, there's no sugar in it. Just whip it up. Oh, there you go. There's that. But it's still a lot of fat, isn't it? I mean, seriously, I've already put on 5 pounds since Aunt Audrey passed. So, I mean, I'm like, anyway, give me a second here, folks. Hey, Seashell, Vicky Lemire. Hi, darling. I was just looking at the comment. I didn't look at the name. How are you, sweetheart? Okay, we are all nuts for nuts. Hey, Village. Okay, hang on. I may have to cut down my apricot tree. I've had 2 mates for it. They've both died, and it puts out beautiful blossoms, but it's got no mate, and it makes me sad. So unless I can find another apricot tree by next spring, it's coming down next year. You're hurting, baby? Special prayer request for our friend Jaton's having a really hard time with her 15-year-old daughter's got a myriad of health issues, and they just keep putting her off at the hospital and stuff like that. So remember that we're going to be, praying for her and her family and her daughter, because she's pretty overwhelmed, I think. Well, thank you. Well, my hair's getting out of hand, eh? It's getting out of hand. Look, it's literally getting out of hand. And someone said, why don't you just comb your hair before you come on video instead of saying, don't look at my hair? And I just put 3 little emojis with a zippered mouth, because the reason being is this is as nice as it gets when it's this long and it's growing out. This is as good as it gets, and that's because I had a shower today. Tomorrow I'll wake up looking like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. A sterile act. They blossom but don't bear. No, it's not sterile. It needs a pollinating mate. It's semi semi-fertile, or not semi-fertile, but it needs a pollinating mate. And if I can't get it's a beautiful tree. It looks like a big Queen Anne's lace when it comes out. It's a beautiful tree, but it doesn't bear. And I don't have patience or time. Like, my friggin' apple trees are coming out because they don't grow well down there. But when we get the back part filled out, I'm going to have more trees put in. Apple trees. I got a pear tree. Hey, Doris, how are you, darling? Lovely floors, darling. House is going up for sale on Monday. Booyah. Get this. You know how recently I've been shuffling and pulling the cards of the lady with the coin, and it just kept coming up, okay? When I got up this morning, I wasn't feeling well. I had a sore throat and a cough. Maybe it was just I had been snoring really loud but you know how your back of your throat gets raw? Hey, Jean Kubicek. Oh, good job, Doris. Anyway, I went back to bed after I got Howie off to work. And I had a really vivid dream. Now, I don't normally remember my dreams, right? When I get a dream that's really vivid, there's a message in it. Do you want to know? Do you want to hear my dream? Oh, before I tell you that, my lawyer and I think we found the problem with my AdSense. It was my mistake again. Even when I corrected it, it turns out that I put like, when you have 3 YouTube channels, you have numbers for each channel, you have numbers for your emails, you have numbers for your Google account, your AdSense account, your YouTube account. Okay. There's all these numbers and they're like that friggin' long, right? Yay, back to Ontario. And I thought I said, I don't have a US TIN number. And so I clicked the wrong box. Remember, that was the problem. They started taxing me. So I corrected it the next month. I thought I corrected it. And I put in the W8BEN form. That's the correction. That was part of the correction. Whatever I put in as a U.S. Foreign tax number was not what I was supposed to put in there. Apparently, hey, Corey C., I listened to that song, Godfather of Soul, eh? Apparently, my foreign tax number is my social frickin' insurance number. It would be like your social security number in the States. So I resubmitted all that information again. Now, this can go one of two ways. They can go, no, you totally screwed up and not pay me at all. Or they can pay me a proper paycheck. I'm not getting my hopes up about them refunding my money because, they're tight wads. Oh, and it's not 30% that they take. Going through all this paperwork, they take 32%. Yeah, 32% they take because I get 68. No, Raph is here in Quebec, honey. I hope I get it back. Yeah, 32%. So when AdSense started taking another 25, 26% off the top, you can understand why I've been so exhausted. I like today, I didn't feel well. So I went back to bed and I had this really vivid dream, guys. I'm telling you, I got emotional in the dream. Okay. Now, when I dreamed that vividly, I know the people that are in it. It started off kind of, how dreams start off. You're in places you've never been before. And there's, at first I was outside. And it was like downtown Peterborough or something, and there was buildings and stuff. And I looked above a window and there was a $20 bill stuck, like folded and stuck in the frame on the outside of the building. And I went, well, that's mine. And then I turned around and I saw a $5 bill stuck to a glass window of another store. Oh, okay, I'm taking that. Hey, Celeste. And then I started looking around and I saw a bookshelf with, a $20 bill sticking out of a book. And I'm going, wow, what's going on? And then I'm in kind of like an entranceway to like a kitchen in, say, one of those Airbnbs or something. And I find $20 stuck to a mirror and $5 bills on the counter. And I'm going, I don't understand. Where's this money coming from? Right? So the next thing I know, I turn and look and I'm in my pantry. And I'm finding, now the money's changing color. It's going blue and purple because it's 50s and 100s. And it's our type of money, the polymer type that's slippery. And I'm finding folded wads of it stuck between jars and stuck in the windowsill and stuck in with my, my surplus stuff. And I'm going, Howie, where's this money coming from? And he goes, you look like you'd never seen money before, Bev. And my mother-in-law was standing there. And she said, oh, isn't that nice? And I said, no, don't you get it? This is thousands of dollars. There were wads of it. This is thousands of dollars. Where's this money coming from? And I got really emotional and I started to cry and I woke up. Just me. No, that's not what I'm asking. That's not what I'm asking, but remind me to pull you a card. But what I'm saying is I woke up and the first thing I thought of was that my wealth is in my home. I mean, yeah, it's out there, bits and pieces, but it was all in my pantry. Do you know what that means? That means a penny saved is a penny earned. And I'm just thinking, it may not be monetary value, but it's like the value of a full pantry, right? And then I'm a little more awake because I thought I phoned Howie immediately on waking up, said, buy a lottery ticket. He said, I don't have $5. I said, buy a friggin' lottery ticket. He said, why? I said, I just dreamt that I came into scads of cash, like probably $3,000 or $4,000 worth of cash. Thank you, darling. Oh, thank you, Avon. But I mean, I understand. I now realize that I am my own source of wealth, of knowledge, of saving money, of making ends meet. I've saved us. This is where I'm going to be practical in my dream. I've saved us thousands of dollars just by canning over the years. You know what I mean? So, but I got really emotional about it. Things are coming your way. I know. I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm not putting any expectations because I just can't go there. You know what I mean? Hi, thank you, Rosie. Okay, just me. Oh, the white wolf is looking at me right in my eyes. So this is for just me. Whoa, that almost happened. Whoop, there we went. You can always tell when the card is ready to pop. When the cards start sliding around, you can't control them. Or sometimes they just go, you'd be shuffling, they go, boom, just like a jack in the box. Okay, just me. I'm not going to look in the book. But somewhere, what I see is I see you connecting with your heart chakra, that there's a lot of, you're too modest about your love. You have a great, huge capacity of love, and you're too modest about it. Never underestimate your power of love. It's coming direct from not the angels, because they can't love, but it's coming directly from the source. And the fact that you're humble about it makes you all the richer. I hope I got that right. But you've been like in your own way going, oh, no. But you are so loved that you got to start accepting that, right? Paula Klein, I love this. Makes me appreciate my house, every little thing in it. Absolutely. Like that was, like I said, I don't have, thank you, darling. I don't have dreams that are that vivid. Like the color of blue, the color of purple, the color of brick red, the color of green, because the 20s were green and the 5s were blue, but the 100s and 50s were brilliant purple and blue. And that's not our money here. That's not how our money looks. But it was like, I mean, most of my dreams that are that vivid are usually connected around messages from my mother. Well, now that's something too. My mother always leaves money. My mother always leaves money. She leaves me nickels and dimes. Dimes when I'm doing a really good job, and nickels when, nickels are, you know what, honey, you could do better. Come on, perk up, right? And Howie said one day, I was telling him about, how my mom always, because when we first met, Howie didn't believe any of that stuff, but he's just seen too much living with me, right? And well, the nickel can be, the nickel is also represents something when I stole the nickel out of my mother's wallet once. So that's when my mother drops nickels, she's like, pay attention to your motives, check your motives. That's when my mom drops a nickel. She drops a dime when she says, you're doing great, baby. Right? So I was telling this to Howie one day, and he goes, well, tell her to leave me something, quarters or something, right? And I started laughing. I said, be careful what you wish for. And he went into the bedroom to get into his comfy pajama bottoms. And there was a quarter sitting in the middle of his pillow. And he came out, and he was kind of white. And he goes, wow, your mom's really arrogant, eh? Not arrogant, really like, hey, you want a quarter? Bang, here's your quarter, shut up. Hey, Paulette, hi, in a pickle. So that was, so God only knows. I have no idea what's going on. I'm not expecting anything. And it could be just my mind going, you know what, Bev? You may have really solved the problem here. I may get a proper paycheck with what they withheld on January, February, March, and April. Added to it, I don't expect that at all. I will be just grateful to get a proper full paycheck where I'm not pinching and scraping. I'm always pinching and scraping, but usually pinching and scraping saves me money. Now pinching and scraping is getting by. You know what I mean? How are you, in a pickle? So it was kind of cool. It was really, really vivid. Purple and blue were the colors, like really bright blue, like the print and the border and everything on the 50s was the color of that sheet back there. And purple. I know, sweetheart. Oh, you're making chicken drumsticks while you listen. Yes, these things have happened to me. My dad gave me a message years ago. Well, that's good. You're not, you are. Oh, that's okay, sweetheart. I know proper English, but I speak Chattanese, so I'm okay. Hey, Andrew. I am planting a lot of extra this year. Mama could be a sign that the yard sale will be really good for you. That could be. I'm going to have to make sure I have like change and stuff because I'm unloading a lot of stuff. I really, really am. So, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say before I greeted Andrew? Squirrel! Right? There's a picture for the bitch factory. There, they'll freeze frame that and put it up. Oh, my plants are looking great. Thank you. Gardening. That's what it was. Do you know how I put the boxes up 3, that last row up 3 high? I'm not going to do it because I grew beets and parsnips and rutabagas in a 2 high bed. So I'm going to take those 4 off the top, make 2 more beds, then take the 4 from the back and make 2 more beds. I am growing shit this year. Trust me. I made 3 quarts of crushed tomatoes from a 10-ounce number 10 can with 3/4 of a pint left over to use. There you go. Hi, Chevy, darling. How are you? Bev, will Howie try that wartime cake? He already did. He took some in his lunch today. He may bitch about raisins, folks, but only because he knows I'd put them in everything. I mean, oatmeal cookies to me are not oatmeal cookies without raisins. So when I make oatmeal cookies, I divide the dough in half and I mix raisins in one half and sometimes my medication, and then pecans in the other half. So yeah, has anybody else heard about all these food processing plants that are exploding and being ran into by planes and shit? Like, is that even, like 45 incidents of food related places like warehouses or packing plants or anything like that have been destroyed, somebody said. Hey, Evan. Lisa, how are you, darling? Good. I'm glad you made it today. It's not like he's enjoying it. He just knows if he doesn't eat it, I won't make him another one until it's been eaten. I'm not throwing stuff away. But I'll tell you something, when it's cold and you slather a little butter, well, even when it's hot, you put a bit of butter on that and it makes it so rich. Haven't heard anything about what, Autumn? Hi, Natalie. How are you? I have been mixing dried cranberries and dates in my oatmeal cookies. Ooh, that sounds good. I was going to ask, how was the cake? It was delayed. Hey, Corey. I was going to bake a cake today, but then I got high. I got an early start. Hi, Audrey. So I'm going to be planting. So that means I'll have, well, let's go look. Let's go have a look. I'll show you my plants too. Oh, yeah, I got my hand over the camera so you guys don't get seasick. And I don't want you to look behind me because then you'll see what I baked today, and that's tomorrow's video. Look at this. Aren't they just happy as pigs in? Now, there's my cabbages. I've got to transplant them. These are the ones I'm keeping for my garden here, right? These ones are going to be transplanted. And guess what? Here we go. Gracie was barking at a box in the pantry. And look what was in it. And also, I found these. So I may transplant some of my tomatoes in these little, but there's only 5 in a thing. So we'll see. But I just moved my peppers around because these ones were doing better than those ones. And so these ones are more directly under the light now. So not going to show you that. Whoops. And look, even my parsley's coming back. Look. Chamomile. All kinds of fun stuff. Awesome. These are all for sale. And this part of this tray is all for sale. 50 cents a tomato plant. Everyone says, yes, I still work on this whenever I have a day to sit on my butt all day, which I don't usually have. Okay, so here's the garden, guys. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. 2 of those top boxes right there are going to come over and make a bed right here. See how this gets shade? This is going to be where I plant spinach and stuff. Then the other 2, I'm going to see if Howie can't put them right there. Boom, boom. And then I'll have, there's 4 behind that where my garlic was, and I'm going to put them out front. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 22 here, and probably 2 extra out front. Yep. And guess what? He said the car's going to be at work for a while. So he's not working this weekend. Gracie McGee, what have you chewed up on my carpet? Whoops. What'd you chew up on my carpet? Don't you lie to me. Give me my zipper. What are you doing with my zippers? What are you doing with my zippers? Little bugger. So that's 22 beds out back. Now, if you remember, I had 20 beds last year out back, but 8 of them didn't work. They were garlic. Garlic's coming up in them now. So, excuse me, I'm making everybody seasick here. Hang on, let me just do this without losing the stream here. So, I have actually, I want to search with my voice. I have, okay, I missed some comments. I know, see, all they needed was some fresh soil and some love. So those, that flat with the cabbages in it, I'm going to be transplanting those. And some of the more awkward tomato plants, I don't know, I might go out and get some more, but I might make some paper pots, because Howie brought me home a couple of you won't know what I'm talking about. The bags by the post box with all the flyers in them. He brought me home a couple of those. So tomorrow I'll be making paper pots, transplanting my cabbage. Honey, I'm 325 pounds, Malka. And I got bad knees. And guess what? I was going at quite the clip there. Of course, I'm a little bit breathless. I'm 58 years old. I know. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I know. I love her butt wiggle. Bronchitis came back this year. Oh, no. Hi, Patricia. How are you? So, rather than just fill those beds up 3 high, I'm just going to spread them out again. I'm getting another truckload of soil. And I'll get that from Jimmy. Jimmy brings me a big truckload of, because they raise cattle, eh? Him and his whole family, they raise cattle all over the hills here. And so every year I just say, Jimmy, give me $100 worth of your oldest manure pile. And he brings it over and he dumps it by the garden, and how he fills my beds. Just started listening to your books. Awesome. 50 cents is too cheap to sell the plants, but it's a tomato plant. Now, I could be wrong, but the last time I bought like 12 tomato plants in a thing, it was like $4.99. So, 50 cents a tomato plant to me is not bad, right? Unless you think I should go up $1. But I mean, I don't want to cheat my neighbors either. These are extras. But yes, I had to pay for the soil and the manure and the compost. And I put work in. So maybe I will charge $1 a plant. And if they don't go, well then, if someone says, how much for all of them? I'll say $20. That'll be it. So that's going to be 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Yeah, because I'm putting 2 beds out here more. And I'm going to plant my watermelon. I got to find room for more tomatoes. I got to find room for more tomatoes. Loonies, no need for making change. When's this yard sale? Ask for higher, $1 a plant, and bargain for less. Okay. It's on May. Oh, it's great. It's on May 14th and 15th. It's like the week before our planting season, right? Our planting season is like May 20th to May 24th. So, hi, Timothy. How are you, darling? One green bean plant at the nursery was, oh, get out of here. $4.95? $4.95. It must be a climber for starters. So I've got my beds all planned out. Like that whole back row is going to be root vegetables. And I should actually phone Jimmy and find out, because the way things have been going, he may be able to get a manure pile out to me soon. So Howie's not going to have the car to work on when he gets home tonight. He's not going to have the car to work on this weekend. So I said, yay, garden time. And he goes, garden. I said, well, right now we're just going to move around beds. Unless, no, I don't have any money. I don't have any money for a load of soil, but I have time for that too. but I want to organize the beds. We've got cardboard boxes that I'm going to break up and put in the bottom of the new ones so that the stuff doesn't come through. The temperature dropped to 5 degrees last night here, and all my tomato seedlings died. Oh, darling. Well, I wish you were closer. I'd give you some. Because I'm telling you, if those subarctic plenties, okay, you saw how well the Manitoba tomatoes did last year. And they're flower to fruit in 67 days. The subarctic plenties are flower to fruit in 47 days. So I'm got my fingers crossed for a bumper crop. I'm hoping I get at least a bushel this year. 4 packs of plants are under $2 US here. You can pay more for bigger plants, but why? Well, these plants, by the time they're only this big right now, right? Well, they're actually only this big because I just planted them right up to their bottom leaves. And you saw how much they went from that to that in a week, 10 days. Well, I have 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, 16 days, and the timer's going on the lights tonight, and they're going to be under lights for 18 hours a day. So these are going to be good full-size, plantable plants by the sale weekend. Question from Heidi Jones. What vegetable plants grow best in shade? Half of my yard is shade most of the day. Lettuce, spinach, chard, because they have a tendency to bolt. Anything like herbs, all right, not complete shade, like they get indirect sunlight, right? So plant your lettuce, leafy greens, your lettuce, your chard, your spinach, your basil, things that you don't want to bolt, right? They sell in 2-inch pots to 1-gallon tomato plants. I'm getting sleepy, Bev, so I'm going to put the live on my smart TV. Okay, sweetheart. We know you're still here. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I don't know who needs to hear this. But if you have any doubt in your mind, somebody is sitting on the fence about whether to believe all of the negativity things that are happening in the world. Let me tell you something. We may be trying to deflect it and put up blinkers so that we can move forward in light, but look at how much of our planet's in darkness, and that's not because of the moon. It's not because of the moon, because look, the sun is behind the planet. So if you're sitting on the fence wondering whether you can wait another year to stock your pantry, wait until next year to put in a garden, do it now, kids. Do it now. We are under a shadow of darkness, and this is why we come here. This is why we talk and pray and try to cleanse, because the more people that walk with the light, okay, they push back at the darkness. Think about it. When you turn on a lamp, more darkness is pushed back, right? Hey, freaky geek! Waiting is not always the best plan to do what you can now while you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get 50-pound bags of carrots for $8 this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get extra bushels of tomatoes at the farmer's market for $15 a box, right? Or $6.99 at Food Basics. If the truth is, if a lot of these packing are getting damaged, then I'm not going to tell you what's coming, but pay attention to your instincts, right? And it's not always a good plan. Do what you can while you can. As a matter of fact, I still have blueberries in the freezer, and I have a handful of cranberries. I might make some more jam, because I think the cranberries will add a nice tartness to the blueberries too. That's right, heavy-duty stainless steel lids. And guess what, folks? I'm officially an affiliate as of May. So there will be, whoo, wow, somebody wanted to be heard. Jewel within a teardrop, upside down. I don't know who needs to hear this. It says appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection, but it's upside down. So somebody's got the teardrop, but not the jewel within. What I mean by that is, you know how they say no pain, no gain? Somebody is bemoaning their fate, but not appreciating what they have. And if you appreciate what you have and you're thankful for what you have, it's an energy cycle. Okay? If you're moaning about your fate, right? And I'm not talking about people who are ill or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know, this is somebody who can do better about getting themselves out of a sticky situation or getting themselves out of their hole, right? They're not seeing that the way out, all right, is to climb the ladder of gratitude. Start saying, I have this, I am grateful. I have a loving husband. I am great. Thank you, God. I have a roof over my head. Thank you, God. I have clothes to wear. Thank you, God. I got food in the pantry. Thank you, God. And before you know it, you're standing in the sun again. All right? So don't bemoan your situation. Start acting in gratitude and your situation will change. Oh, and the second card with that was achievement, and it's upright. Keep focused on your dream. And I'm not necessarily talking about dreaming of being a millionaire. Your dream of peace. What will give you peace and happiness, right? Think about those things, not material things. Sounds like me, sounds like all of us. Oh, well, thank you, Malka. Yes, giving the garden a go. Yes, I'm giving the garden a go this year. Good. Good. I read chat in East Hammy. Don't you have a strong wind? It's breezy, but no, nothing strong yet. Is it coming my way? Is it coming my way? Hey, Chaos, how are you, darling? So, excuse me. Oh, that's going to burn a hole. So, tonight's supper is chicken in the new wave. And no, it's not a video. Chicken in the new wave. And green beans and mushrooms. Because I like to cook them together and put a little, instead of butter, put a little bit of Parmesan on them. And something my sister and I used to do when we were like counting calories. Oh, Jersey. I thank God everything I get, every time I get in a hot shower, I get it. I got into the hot shower today. And for a minute, I thought my hot water heater had died. I have a brand new one in the box. We've never replaced our old one because Howie, every couple of years, just cleans out the bottom, right? And if you maintain them, like he, you know, I don't recommend everybody doing this, but he's done it. He's, you know, and we still have a brand new hot water heater sitting in the box. I thought mine was going, and I went, thank you, God, I've got one in a box. You know what I mean? Hey, Patricia, how are you? Breeze in Ontario feels a bit like frost, but the sun's out trying to get summer started. Get warmer started. Warm summer. I hope not. It's a cool wind northeast or north any direction. Well, then that's not me, man. I'm in Western Quebec, right? Summer is, wow, my spelling. I got that. Warm summer. Warmer. Works for me. So, I'm focusing a lot on the garden this year. If my friend Steffi happens to have some extra chicks, if she can get them started for me, I'm going to ask her how much she wants for like 6 of them, and I'll put them in the greenhouse. Be grateful for everything. Brooklyn. Brooklyn. Oh, I love Brooklyn. I actually got to go through Brooklyn on a cab ride once. And I felt at home. It kind of reminds me of like Leslieville, the Queen Street East between Jones and Pape in Toronto from when I was a kid. And it kind of reminds me of, that's why I loved it. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I got sleepy and cold, so I had to lay down under my blanket. Well, that was me this morning. I woke up, my throat was scratchy. And I was coughing. And I went back to bed and I could not get warm. Thank God for Gracie, man, because I had 2 blankets, a flannel sheet and 2 blankets, and she got in between the blankets and snuggled right up to my bum. Warm as toast in 10 minutes. But that really darn down cold that you just can't get warm? Pollen. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I was just maybe I finally slept on my back and snored so hard I hurt my throat. I don't know. Howie goes, "You say you don't snore," and he said, "You don't snore," and he recorded me once. And this is how I snore. I said, "That's not snoring." He said, "Yes, it is." I said, "No, Howie, this is how you snore." That's snoring. My little is a place where my adenoids are missing or something, getting flappy in the breeze. That's nothing. The above ground section, I'm in a village called Coldwater. I've ordered my pool liner. That was a close one. I'm telling you what. Howie said, "Oh, well, I'm going to stop at Mermaid Pools," because the one I ordered online last year was a piece of crap. It split 3 times. We had to patch it. Well, I had to order a pool liner from the same place, but I went from the cheapest one to the next one up because that was all I could afford. But I'm telling you, there was only 3 left because Howie went to Mermaid Pools in Ottawa and they said, "Oh, no, we don't have nothing. We've been, forget it. It's gone. The only pool liners we have are for people that have ordered pools to be put in. They go with the kit, right?" And he said, and he phoned over to Mermaid Pools. Oh, not Mermaid Pools, Club Piscine. And he phoned Club Piscine in Gatineau, and the guy did. And he said, "Oh, yeah, they got tons of those there. Your size pool liner," right? So Howie went to phone them. They said, "I don't know who he was talking to. We don't got any. All our pool liners are for pool kits." So there were no pool liners. So I went back, and just when I had the money from my paycheck, I ordered my pool liner, and they only had 3 left. That was the only pool liners left online I could find that were within Canada and weren't going to cost me an arm and a leg for shipping. So, men snore, women purr. Oh, well, there you go, Carolyn. Could you do a video when you install it? What, the hot water heater? Well, it probably won't happen until the fall, but yeah, sure. I would think she needs to ask the people who might install if they don't mind being on video. What, the pool? Oh, you mean the pool liner? Howie does that. Howie does it. Howie opens my pool every year. And I mean, we left the steps in it this year because there was no saving the pool liner, right? So hopefully this pool liner will last 2 years at least, because I'm getting tired of spending last year it was $290. This year it was $493. So, I don't know what's going on in the world, but this is crap because the $291 one, that was the piece of shit that split 3 times last year, was now $349. But I got free shipping, right? So, oh, he's not hey, how's it going, Paula? No, he's not camera shy anymore. But he's been camera sulky lately. He's all been worried about whether he's going to be able to race this year and all that Scheisenheimer crap. So the last time I made a video and he was like that and walked away, didn't say a word. And I lost half that video anyway, so it's a good thing. But I said to him, I said, if you're not going to be, I know that food's damn delicious. If you're not going to be enthusiastic about it, I'm taking you off camera. Because people are going to start to doubt my cooking abilities. So, hey, Karen, hi, how are you? Looks like we made it. Time to dig a cement pond. Now, mine's half underground, half, but I want to get those apple trees, and unless they come into full blossom this year. My pear is coming into full blossom, my pear tree this year. I have a how does a video. When we first bought this particular pool, do you not remember that it was like our 25th wedding anniversary pig roast? And they promised me it would be installed well before, because it was in July. And then 2 weeks before my 25th wedding anniversary pig roast, the guys came to install the pool liner, not the pool liner, the whole pool. And there was a wasp nest this big under my deck. And it was 3 p.m, and they're or 1 p.m, and they're like, oh, and it was a Friday, of course. And they go, oh, no, we can't take the risk that somebody might get stung and la, 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 la. I said, just a minute. My husband's on his way home from work, and he will deal with that hornet's nest or wasp nest or whatever it was. And he goes, no, we can't take the chance. We can't wait, blah, 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 blah. And they left. And they were just turned onto the highway as Howie was turning onto our road. Howie went out with a paper lunch bag and an egg lifter. And he went, shh, bunk, put it on the ground, and he dropped a rock on it. Done. So I made them give me the installation fee back. I said, because, oh, well, we don't know. You'll have to rebook. I said, it's mid-June or it's mid-July now. So our friend, Steve, is a landscaper, and he had so Howie and Steve installed the pool, and they did a beautiful job. You don't snore, you snoozle. I had 2 dwarf apple trees with 3 different varieties of apples grafted. Free apples are the best apples, absolutely. But my apples, I've got 5 trees out there, and I only produced 1 apple last year. So it's like, you know what? The downstairs has a door out, but it's a jungle. You can't go out, right? So I would like this all kind of leveled out in the back here behind the pool, so that the whole pool is 2 feet, 3 feet under at the bottom. So so I want the apple trees pull that graded. And then when the hill starts, I want to put a retaining wall in and with a drain down the side, and put a patio in, so that when my sister-in-law moves in, okay, she can have, or whoever moves in, she can be able to step out back, have a sunshade or whatever, but she can step out back to smoke, because you can't smoke in my house. Why don't apples grow from their own trunk? Well, they do, Avonlea Ann, but you can, like my pear tree, I can graft. I might graft some apple branches onto my pear tree, because they're basically the same plant. This type of fruit. I might try that, because there's nothing getting done back there this year. We can't afford it. They do grow from their own trunk, but the best way to have apples, like an apple tree, is they're grafted on, because the fancier apples are harder to grow, right? So they sometimes graft them onto a crabapple tree trunk or bit of trunk, so that they get a good solid root foundation, right? So, I mean, yeah, they'll grow from their own trunks. I've had it happen. Those 2 apple trees back there died. We cut them down, and then they came back and produced apples. It's like, so I don't know from one year to the next what my trees are going to produce, right? It's not the right type of elephant to grow from the trunk. Oh, you're so funny, Freaky. You're so funny. Give me a second here, and then I'm going to pull a card, okay? So I made another recipe today, and I had to ad-lib because they forgot an ingredient. And I'm going, wait a second, if I put all those ingredients together, they're just going to melt on the cookie sheet. And then I said, but there's no measurement for flour. So I had to guesstimate while I was making the video. But I did look, and it's like, oh yeah, it says flour, but it doesn't tell you how much, right? Some trees do what it's called rejuvenation. I think I have another pear tree that's doing that. It died, we cut it down, and it's got branches coming up from the trunk. So I'm just, I'm just going to do that, right? I'm just going to let it do its thing. But as soon as we get more fill, now this is an idea too. There's like 5 to 8 dead trees that have to be taken down. And if I can get a deal, I want them taken down and cut up for firewood, but I want all the branches from the spruce trees. Don't use them for mulch, but I want all the branches from the spruce trees chipped right into the ravine where our landfill, not landfill, it's clean fill. And chipped into there, because eventually that's going to reach to the side of the garden. We want it filled in as far as the garden, right? But there's the garden, then the ravine goes down, because the garden had to be, or the septic bed had to be built up for it to be put in. And that'll give us our firewood, and then the maple trees or the poplar trees or whatever, the branches and everything that have to be chipped, I'm going to get them to chip them into a pile for mulch. So, and then I've got firewood, mulch, and fill. So I'm going to be looking around as soon as I can afford it, hopefully before the fall, because I've got 3 or 4 dead trees that's dry wood standing. That's firewood standing, right? Some trees do that. It's called rejuvenation. Right. Okay, one more. So, oh, excuse me. Excuse me. We had a pomegranate tree where we lived, came back to life after our landlord cut it down. I hear Phil, and I'm thinking a person's name. I want to ask if he's Andy. No, these ones are Colin. So, I'm full of plans. And Howie's like, yeah, I got to clean the gutters. I said, you got 1 gutter to clean. 1. So don't tell me you're going to take all weekend to do that. I need boxes moved. And we still have some soil from last year in a pile that if it's thawed, we can, at least fill a couple of my beds for root vegetables, because it's almost time if the soil can be worked. Wood chips would be great for the path between your planters. Yes, I have old runner rugs and stuff in between them. But yeah, that would be awesome too. But I would also like to mulch, like if I had it. I'm growing watermelons this year, because I never tasted anything like that unripe watermelon I grew. It was delicious. I can only imagine what it's going to taste like when they're fully grown, So, yeah, it's kind of back to Eden gardening, right? It went, but so 20, 22, 23. I'm going to have, last year I only had like 17 beds. This year I'm going to have like 25, 30 if I can, really make it work. So, no, I guess these cards don't want to talk. In some locations, wood chips bring in bad bugs. Well, yes. That's what I found out with the spruce. When we had a great big huge 75-year-old spruce tree where our front door used to be, and we had to have that taken down because it was dying, and I didn't want it falling on the house. But he mulched all the branches for me, and I used them to mulch my potatoes, and they just got decimated. And I thought it was just the, whoa, jumpins. I thought it was just, okay, these cards just went ape shit in my hands. Okay, I'm going to pull them out separately. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Okay, I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody is being weighed down in chains by ancestral patterns. That means just because you grew up, for example, just because you grew up in an abusive environment doesn't mean you have to live in one now. Okay? Just because your parents were drunks and smoked cigarettes doesn't mean you have to. Part of our job on this planet is to break the negative ancestral patterns that we were born into so that we don't pass them on through example. Don't know who needed to hear that. Oh, the age of light. You've been training for this for a lifetime. And the age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, and peace will guide the planets, and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. I got chills when I pulled this card. You've been training for this for a lifetime. It's the age of light, folks. And don't let the Illuminati symbolism get to you. That's just whoever made these cards. All right? It doesn't necessarily mean that. Okay? Hey, Aces and Team Mama Dukes. And look at this. This is the next card that came out. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So trust your path. If money was no object, or the people in your lives are going to support your decision, what would you do? And then do it. Doesn't say that, but that's what I'm saying. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Okay. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying the foundations, divine plan. Now, somebody here is a grandmother, and somebody doesn't realize that their grandchildren actually look to them more than their own parents, not for love and affection, but they look to you as a grandmother for knowledge and for being staunch and steadfast, for being an anchor. You are a family anchor, and your grandchildren are watching you, and you're not paying attention to the fact that they are watching. Let's turn that card upside down and embrace the fact that just because you're a grandmother doesn't mean you stop being a parent. It means you become more of a parent. Do you understand? Shoot, it's not me. I'm grand, but not a mother. And just think, when you harvest, you get free seeds. What are we talking about, Freaky Geek? It is a beautiful day here. Sunshiny and all that. Oh, the white wolf wants to talk again. Okay. Seed and book library. Well, I'm still going through my seeds because I'm going to put in not 4, but 5 beds of beans this year. I didn't have to buy beans last year. I just canned up what I grew, and they were bumper last year. Yeah, and I saved my own seeds. I have more green and yellow bean seeds, but I saved my own, right? I think I'll be putting pickling cucumbers on the trellis again this year. I've got, it looks like thyme that's coming up, not rosemary. So I got some thyme, some sage, some parsley, some basil. So I need to get some rosemary. In a pickle, I mentioned the price of wax bean and is going to plant instead. Ah, right. Do you prefer bush or pole beans? I like both. For years and years, I have done only bush beans. And then someone sent me these wax pole beans. They're really flat and they're broad and they're flat and they're yellow. And you wouldn't think that they would be so crunchy and juicy because they're so flat. So I've actually, when I was in the dollar store, yes, I'll shop at the dollar store. It's not really a dollar store. It's just a discount store. It's a buck or two kind of thing. And I got 4-foot high canes because I've mixed some of those pole beans with some regular beans. And so 2 of the beds I know will have climbing beans in them, right? But I mixed them. And they were just happier than pigs in crap. So wax beans. Grandmother of 4 here. Well, there you go. But beans, I want to freeze some this year too, because I want to try that green bean casserole everybody's talking about with the French fried onions and stuff. I had never even seen a French fried onion. They say it comes in a can. Some folks mix them and call it a salad. But yeah, I actually used to always be bush beans, but now I grow bush beans and pole beans together. Because they just seem to do better together. I don't know, but I'm putting in 5 beds this year, not 4. So don't like it with canned beans. Oh no, that would be nasty with canned beans. But apparently it's green beans and mushroom soup and French fried onions around the edges or something. I don't know. I do have a recipe for it. It came in the Christmas card recipe exchange 2 years ago. I mixed my beans, all different varieties, and planted in different areas in the garden. That sounds like fun. I'm curious to see what sort of tomatoes I am going to have this year. Tons of seeds have sprouted from volunteers. Should be interesting. Wish it was a jelly roll. Can you please pull me a card? Sure, Lacey. Energy Oracle cards. This is for Lacey Black. Whoa! Wow! The Thinking Man. The Thinking Man. What I'm getting here, Lacey, is that there's somebody in your life, a man, who you're bouncing ideas off of, or you want to do a partnership thing. Maybe it's a garden. Maybe, I don't know what it is, but there's I don't know if it's a spouse or a neighbor or a cousin, but there's a man you're going to get into a partnership, or you're talking about getting into, you want some help in this venture, whatever it is you're going to do. Maybe it's your garden. Don't push. He's thinking about it. He's mulling it over, and let him come to his own conclusion that whatever this venture is, or whatever it is you're asking him to help you with, is a good idea. He'll come to that on his own. Don't push. I don't know if that meant anything to you, Lacey, but I have a very small backyard. Hi, Isabella. And I don't even know where to start where I start a garden. Well, I used to do my garden tilled, and I just not doing that anymore. I can't bend down. I can barely deal with the beds that are only too high. Grow what you know you'll eat for sure, and next year try one plant you've never tried. Yeah, don't plant everything. I did that the first time I put in a big garden, and I had not enough of any one thing to last. It was basically we ate all summer. So it's a big American Thanksgiving dish. Yeah, but I'm not sure I'll be able to find the French fried onions unless I could just get onion rings from the freezer section and put them around. So anyway, I'm going to get going because I got to start dinner. Howie's going to be home any minute. And I want to talk to him about what we're going to do tomorrow. And I want to watch TV with my husband. And that means I got to get my editing done first. All right. So you don't like green bean casserole. Was it okay, Lacey? Did that make sense? I've never met any food not improved. Thank you, in a pickle. Not improved by an onion ring. Well, you know what? I may put my own Canadian take on it because a lot of the things you use in the green bean casserole, I don't get here, right? But I'll look up the recipe and then I'll try and freeze some beans this year. I like. I'm going to pull one more card for everybody. I like. Ooh, where did you go? Come here. You hiding from me. I like having dehydrated green beans. Howie doesn't like them so much, but they got to be put in your soup early in the day, right? Or they don't rehydrate as good. But hey, Bev, super thin slices of onion and roll them in the seasonings that you use for, what seasonings for tots? And fry slightly, cool till they are crispy. Can you email me that? No onion rings, Miss Bev. Oh, come on. I Googled it. It says, well, woo, okay, folks. Here we go. Bell peppers, green. I have, okay. Here we go, folks. Last cards of the day. I choose to learn through love. I choose to learn through love. Let that sink in. You can also choose to teach through love. And when I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. And my joyful presence is my connection with the God of my understanding, whom I call Source, Creator, God. Okay? And Papa just walked in. So I'm going to do a closing prayer. Was there any mail? Really? The Jehovah's are back? God bless them. So, now, for all those who care to, please help me close. Howie, could you punch the new wave? Cook time 15? For all those who care to, and who, now this is a non-denominational thing, and if you don't want to stay, you're not going to be judged. Everybody has their own connection with their faith. So I'm not asking anybody to believe or follow my faith. I'm asking you to connect to yours so that we can come together in one big, nice energy ball of love. You know, you feel me? Okay. Thank you, Seashell, for all the hard work you do. God bless you. All right. Now we're going to take 3 deep breaths. We're going to hold them. We're going to release them. If you can't hold them, then release. But try and do it slowly. Don't pass out. I just happen to be able to sometimes hold my breath longer. I shorten it for you guys. But when you take the breath, don't go and hold it here. Relax it into your rib cage and right deep into feel your lungs expand into your rib cage, okay? You're welcome, darling. I love you. Okay. Ooh. Healing light and love. Somebody's knee. Somebody's lower back and shoulder. Somebody's core, their bottom area. All right. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Hey, God, source, creator of all. Thank you, God. I got to say thank you for that very vivid dream and making me realize that I am my own source of mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical wealth. But God, there's a lot of people that are struggling right now. They're afraid by what they see on TV, and they're afraid. They don't know what to believe. They don't know who to trust. God, I want you to drop a seed inside their hearts to let them know that they only have to trust you and themselves. That the instincts that are guided by love come from you. So please, God, I'm asking people to open their hearts to that message, that they are enough. Okay? They don't have to need reassurance from others. They are enough. And there's people that are struggling with their health, God. Back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, bowel and bottom issues. Illnesses that can't be explained, illnesses that doctors don't want to deal with. So much negativity, God. So we ask that as we link hearts and hands, God, that we lift ourselves up and the world to you, so that your love may shine down upon us and fill our hearts with the loving knowledge that we are enough when we have you. And give people, excuse me, God, I did not mean to demand. Let your love glow in their hearts so that they may feel more confident in their own self-worth, knowledge, and connection to you. These are dark times, God, and we just want to shed light. We just want to share the light. The more we share the light, the lighter it gets. So thank you, God, for bringing us together for that. I hear you, Jatan. Amen. Shalom. Namaste. Peace be with you. Merry meet, Miigwech, Merry part. Walk in the light of God. Whatever your salutation is, or however you greet the source of your faith, thank you for joining us. And thank you for brightening my day. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. See you Sunday.